Did it? Did we start? Are we started? All right, I'll begin with the Lord's Prayer. We'll go from there. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Okay, hot stuff today. I was a little late because client called me, and it's interesting. Um, so when you do find these write better clients, it's just some kind of a tip for OMGers and stuff like that. Um, but see how do I see Smitty's on? Has to unmute. Listen, only attendees. How can I make him a panelist? Oh, there we go. Make a panelist. Um, you build their trust. You have a beautiful website from you. They're getting compliments on it. You start getting into some business, and a lot of times these 90 percenters that we target, they have other businesses. So this guy, he just wrote a book, and he's getting offers from publishers, and yeah, I mean, it's wheelhouse. Um, so it's the type of thing that I had to jump off the phone with him because and I didn't want to. I wanted to get on the podcast, but otherwise I didn't want to get off the phone with them. And I told him I would follow up with them after the Webby. Um, but it really goes to show. Brand building. I'll say this. Just these are building blocks though. This was a delivery of uh, this is 7,500 pounds um, worth of limestone. Um, and the big thing today was to get the delivery driver to put it in the garage. And it really was a trick, you see, because that's a second pallet and you had to slide it back. You see how it works? There's only space that in that one lane. So he used that door and pushed, you see, he's using the door to push the other crate because otherwise he can't keep pushing into the garage because he would smash into the top of the garage and ruin the garage. So he can't do that, right? With those two vertical bars. So you can only push but so far. So he used that leverage in there. The guy just, you know, had an idea, knew how to do, what he's doing. But I'll tell you this, I went to call his company to leave him a review and stuff like that. Couldn't even get a phone answer. I called the other company, tell them, hey, attaboy. They didn't care. Um, and it's the thing is, so there's types of businesses that you want to invest in, but it's when they really care to grow. They care to kind of deepen their connection and do a good job. Because it's one thing to do a great job, but you want to have a whole feedback loop to to build that success up and so on. Anyways, that probably a little bit off topic, probably a little too off topic for magic secrets today. But we have a lot of magic to talk about. So Bryn and Lawrence have a hard copy of Magic Secrets, the original Magic Secrets book that we created. Right there, they both have a hard copy of it, and they're working on this. This is precious to us. These are our great tokens. I have something to tell you guys. Last night I was on the phone with marvelous, mysterious Megan Lee, and I was at Subway, and I thought the guys were gamers. I just thought so, and I was like, "Are you guys gamers?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I told them about the forum upcoming, and they're so excited right away. And guess what? They like this, right? I mean, it's so interesting. And when the forum is set up, we'll set them up right there. I mean, I'll be, and people that want to have just stacks of these can just, when you see someone who's a gamer, and we'll stick some pokey something or other. I mean, when we get over to Pokemon and that other stuff, there's lots of other stuff out there, but there's a lot of people are Magic. A lot of people like Magic, and at the tournaments, at the actual tournaments, what I'll do when I go is actually have the, like a prepared card, right? And be able to explain, okay, this is prepared, this is unprepared, and so on. So they understand the mechanic. And so, they're very useful. Of course, the uh, Badger Mold, we have a great token that works well with your Badger Mold Cubs and your Earthbend various earthbend creatures, so I can just kind of have both of those and so on. Okay, so as always, we have a new great format with Magic Secrets show that I'm really in love with. Lot of stuff, fire behind the scenes. We're working really hard on the forum. I'll tell you that the forum is really, in essence, kind of like reorganized to be kind of like the number one thing, and everything kind of revolves around that. The blog really led to it. You saw it. There's so much excitement with the blog, and then once you start getting into it, there's no way to contain it all, right? But you want it all organized. You want it available, right? You can't just dig backwards on a WhatsApp thread. It doesn't work. So you see that when there's too much science, and then it starts becoming unavailable by the format, right? So what we do is, but we have the expertise. We have Nikki, right? So now we're looking at very sophisticated stuff, putting together a really terrific forum. The Magic Secrets forum will be on lawofimplication.com, right? That'll be a really terrific, actually, benefit. Of course, it'll be easy to link. We'll look to have it all happen under one website and app, so that way you have one login for all of it. Of course, it'll there'll be references and links to the blog and to other various activities. I was thinking, sort of like not missing out, right? Like there's fear of missing out, right? And there's the, not missing out, never missing out list, if you think about it. And we want to have an environment where, within reason, somebody looking to have, very happy life. We have what gaming, we have Magic and other terrific games. This is my card, Rootwater Thief. I was signing these at a store recently, and I'll tell you this: the experience is the biggest thing. It defined my week, and it's what led to me, going back into that game store or back in the subway. And I'll tell you, I gave them the card. I only had one, and the two guys were like, they were almost fighting. Like, oh, I want that card, right? I'll bring it back, but it's good to know. But that's the genuine. That's what currency is. Like without two people that both want something, or at least one person who thinks that somebody else wants something, then there's not really any currency involved. Just notice that. So just the idea of it having some sort of value, it happens like between two people, and just the experience of that. So exciting stuff. Today's show is going to be primarily about, obviously, a little bit ramble, so it cuts my monologue time short just a bit, but it's all well worth it. Because we really want a world here where it's like I walked into that game store, cool stuff, and one of the employees, I was signing the cards, and they were like, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" I told them about the podcast show, but then when I said the forum, and this was predicted to me, oh, jumping up and down, right? Because you can see how you can be involved in a forum. It'll be great that we're not hosting on Discord, because Discord can just kick us right off. We don't want to be under someone else's thumb. That way we can be under David Mills's direction, right? Be on lawofimplication.com, a website, a trusted website, a man who's done over $100 million in transactions with no issues, no problems. David Mills, that's very, very cool. Jumping up and down, the employee was doing, jumping up and down. I want to be involved. And I was like, aha, take a mental note of this. This is important, right? This person's showing me with their energy. They care. Okay, great. And it was a great topic. Everybody loved the idea, but this one's jumping up and down. And then I was back at Subway, and it was up and down. Okay. So we have a really great core here, and the topics will range. There'll be relationship advice. We have a marvelous relationship advice business product that we built that Smitty was a huge part of back in 2007, 2008, that we did with Mystery, and to some extent with Neil Strauss. Neil was certainly involved. Craig Clemens, actually, really, really helpful in various ways. But yeah, there'll be so much on the forum, and of course, it'll be a great place for OMGers to talk about business, right? That'll be the kind of ideal place for OMGers. We're not going to, just live on Sam Ovens. We can use the community probably just for main notifications. I really want to kind of get onto a forum, and then of course it makes it easy to jump topics, and then you're never missing out. You're one place, you're never missing out, and never missing out. You're just in the right place. because when your time is hard to spell, you might miss out on something else that was equal to the greatness that you have, but that's not missing out. That's just another thing. That's just there's a trillion extras where you like never ever be happy with anything in the world. Like, oh, this pizza's good, but there's a bunch of other pizzas out there that are just as good. So that makes this pizza not good. No, that's crazy, right? That's just idiotic. But you don't want to be missing out on good pizza, right? So never miss out, never missing out. So we'll have such a nice world on the forum, and of course, then we can also discuss philosophy and the various derivatives and other things that go on in life. So today's episode, magic wise, is going to be action packed. Lots of decks, lots of deck lists. Let me, I don't know how I'm not logged into Arena, but I'll get back, log back into Arena. We want to go over Quandrix Charm today. Okay, so David Mills, all right. Lawrence and I are going to get to updating Magic Secrets. Of course, Bryn and everybody else here is very much involved, but there's a certain streamlined process that I want to be able to do, and I want to be able to kind of bang things out. And I've done a lot of Magic content just by one way or the other with Lawrence, although others can and will be involved at various times. Anyways, this week I kind of went on a tear in our group where I was talking a lot about Quandrix Charm, and I was a little bit decoupling. I kind of always do this with Drunith, good old Drewski / Jackal. But I wanted, since I'm doing this, I kind of let myself do this. I kind of, it was a fine thing to do. I could have just had another great week worth of development of various Drunith decks, which would have been very happy for me in terms of development. But there's a good opportunity with Quandrix Charm, and it's so freaking crazy, and it needs to be developed at some point. So this week I decoupled. Well, first I built a good Quandrix Charm, and I'll show it right here. It all started with me building one that's good for both, which is, I'm calling it Frenchie, but we can, it's just a
Frenchie.
I know, I knew that would make Smitty happy. Smitty's just the greatest. There's just I could make another show about how great Smitty is. So let me organize these cards into the style that I often like to do when you have mixed creatures and spells at different tempos, because I think you really understand things better. And of course, we understand that this guy is kind of often like this, kind of often a two caster, right?
Are we sharing the screen, Mike?
Oh, God. Yeah, ever since we went to the new wacky.
While he's doing that, I'll tell you about Frenchie. Frenchie was a deck that ran Kurt Apes, Serendibifreets, and everything fast in 3 colors way back.
Yeah, plus Ancestral Recall, Demonic Tutor, Mind Twist. Of course, you'd have Lightning Bolts, Fireballs, but you'd have all the spoilers. And then I would play with Pyroblasts, which, in some ways took away from your tempo, but then you're kind of in the game, you can Pyroblast their Ancestral and so forth. You have Time Walk and on and on. So really fast deck, one of the better decks, certainly not the keeper, but really, really great in Magic. And it's a blue-red. And then there was a version called Monkey May I that Dan built of it. And so this is sort of like Monkey May I. This is sort of like Otter May I, like I Otter Ask, we could call it. I otter ask, because we have a bunch of otters. So otter sounds like otter, explaining my various humor. All right, so I otter ask. So we've got Quandrix Charm. I really wanted to look at Quandrix Charm deeply, and especially, so one of David's law of implication rules, and these are guideposts that we use to really organize our time very, very efficiently, is that you stop everything when these new cards come out. You don't feel like things are progress until you understand that card, and you're willing to spend a day or 2 or 3 or whatever developing decks just with that card and understanding that card, and really being humble that this card is not. So the first chapter that we'll get into, and I'll be working with this on, but we can pull this segment, Lawrence and Bryn, for it, is on accurate representation and accurate card representation. And people so often will say, this is the new, they look at it and say, this is the new something or other. They'll make something up. This is the new spell, I don't know, Mana Leak or whatever, is the recent card that would cost a blue and a colorless and and make counter something unless they spend 2 more mana. But really, this is a different card. And again, with Frenetic Retreat, with Drunith, we showed this with Drunith. If you really delve into it, you can find so much more and it opens so much up. And then when you take this fundamentals approach to thing, you really get to understand the cards very well and very accurately. And then you build fundamental decks very well. And those two things really, really help your game. You're not dumbing yourself down by overly, you're just making these kind of simple level associations that sort of what was it from? That people loved from, and they just loved this from Dirty Dancing. The movie was just a phenomenon in the 1980s or 1990s. Nobody puts baby in the corner, and the whole thing was that Patrick Swayze had realized that this like left out girl was really talented, and it was crazy for her to be singing in the corner. She's this incredibly talented dancer, and that was what the movie was about. And this is a cultural phenomenon. Nobody puts baby in a corner, right? So this is David's phenomenon, and he has another philosophical phenomenon very associated with it. Um, don't drive out of San Francisco. So the idea is, people will think that they're smart and they'll say, hey, if a car drives around and keeps driving, it'll eventually arrive in San Francisco. Not so. Not so. Philosophically speaking, not so. Because arrival must include stopping, right? To arrive somewhere, right? If you ship something somewhere, we just had that shipment that I showed earlier, right? It had to arrive here. He couldn't just drive past us and say, "Hey, I arrived," right? So uh, to arrive, you have to stop and do whatever business that you have in arriving. In the scenario where a driving car just keeps driving, has endless gas, and keeps turning, yeah, it may drive past San Francisco, but it will never arrive in San Francisco. It never knows when to stop, right? And so, in the same way, these ideas that we figure out, these important lessons that we fight for, with they're based on science, hard-won science, and hard-won philosophical understanding, and often a mix of both to cut down your waste time. Um, then we really want to be able to take advantage of them and capitalize on. And again and again in all scenarios, pass them on. When the premise changes, we want to go back and say, hey, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I knew a prowess deck before. This very common blue-red prowess deck where people will play ops and sleight of hands. Yes, maybe I know that deck, but once Quandrix Charm exists, do I know it anymore? No, I don't. And there's a bunch of decks I'm going to show you in succession here that we took the same pack to, and it all started with me realizing how crazy Quandrix Charm is with Mr. Green, with Orboroid or whatever the hell he's called. This guy. I'll pull it up right here. I'll go back to that deck in a second. There's a shuffle deck. This guy, right? So if you put Quandrix Charm on him, now he's a 5. He becomes a 5/5 that turn and distributes a bunch more counters, right? I realized that, but I didn't really carry it over at first and realize the other implications of it. The various decks and deck types, like this deck, I'll show you in a second, but has the double strike, especially from Most Helpful Weaver, and you can go really bananas with Quandrix Charm that way. And of course, always great with these otters, right? Because it's a spell and so forth for the prowess and so on. So I'm gonna fan through a couple decks really fast here that I kind of got into this week. I believe it's possible that Smitty and Bryn and Lawrence and so on may talk more about it. I'm going to turn the show over to them. Actually, I'm going to turn the show over to them now. That was a good preview, but it ran about 5 minutes past what I normally do with my monologue. But we had a little bit of a deeper day, and I'll give you guys extra time on that. So I'm going to let the guys get to the blogs. Working on the blogs are what led to the breakthrough with the forum, and we're really focused on the forum right now. The forum is going to be killer. It's going to really help the blogs. The forum is going to then really help the blogs. It's all of feedback. Oh my gosh, we have. Wait a second. All right, we're gonna. The show just took a wonderful hand turn.
A new premise was introduced.
Mysterious, marvelous,
No way.
magnificent Megan Lee is actually joined the Magic Secret Show. So I don't want to put her on the spot, but she is now on as a panelist. I was talking for a few moments about law of implication and so on. I had passed her a link, so it's not entirely a surprise, but I didn't realize she'd be able to be on. So Megan, if you feel like any comments on anything I just said, that's great. Otherwise, if you're enjoying yourself as a passenger, so to speak, or whatever, then continue to enjoy the. Oh, there she is. She's in
Here we
Franklin.
go.
Hey, looking
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
great.
Megan.
Mysterious, marvelous. Megan Lee, how are you doing, Megan? Let's try to acquire your audio. We'll just sit here without you.
There we go. I was having trouble getting my camera and my audio on. So
Oh,
I just figured it
it
out.
looks great. I love that. This is a great podcasting setup for you. That looks really perfect with the background and the leaves and everything. You have that beautiful. We lived just right in that area, right
Yeah,
next to
it's
David
my
and
new
Franklin.
apartment in Franklin, Tennessee.
Super duper. And Megan and I we got to talking about the forum last night because David, one of his things is whenever you start something new, you really want to get everyone who you know is going to be involved in the project. You want to get them involved, at the root of things. And Megan is somebody, is first to my head, first person, thinking of, when we're working on law of implication. She's done so much for law of implication now. So for those of you who don't know Megan, she joined our OMG mastermind, which is legendary in the Google SEO world. It's clearly the number one all time mastermind. I have if you ever want to go over to the
It's
Instagram.com
my just past my 10-year anniversary. So
and
about 10 years I've been doing LOI.
10-year anniversary ever since she's 18. So anyways, if you go to Instagram.com/power by OMG, you can see so many of the successes of people, the Rolls Royces and the Ferraris and Lamborghinis they bought. Megan had a tremendous success, both lots and lots of business success, but also a lot of personal success because any sort of David Mills coaching and law of implication based coaching is going to be really really terrific. But Megan was somebody who really really paid it forward to so many members. To give you a sense of her path, she was a successful teacher. She has an incredible background as an editor and as a teacher in all kinds of different languages and all kinds of different, just an incredible depth of understanding different writing forms. She was teaching at one of the top kind of military installations in the world where they have military staff that are dealing with often very, very highly volatile, warlike conflicts between various factions, and it can be small cities or even up to
In
small
fact,
tribes.
I was the project leader for 5 years writing the Persian Farsi book, Iranian
Right.
language.
Right. So that's
Learn the language, yeah.
right. Obviously, yeah. So if she was dealing with that, obviously, then that bears in on what's going on right now and today's current events and so on. So she was having to teach people, about writing and editing, but under these highly volatile situations where it's political conflict, it's different languages, it's different types of backgrounds of people. So she has this really amazing background. She's measured at an utter genius IQ, something kind of off the charts type level thing, and was just this from the beginning this terrific part of OMG. She took the traditional path. She came in. She built her city SEO website, started ranking for SEO in her area in her city, and starting landing clients from there. But she also really realized she had a beautiful skill when it came to teaching Google SEO, or doing Google SEO on the page. And she's probably the most influential person in our mastermind when it comes to people understanding how to properly set up their content on their websites. To give you a sense, I worked together with her to rank for Orlando SEO on a website that I used to be partners with about 7 years ago. Once she kind of gotten into things, and she gave me advice. She was like, "Hey, if you put up an Orlando page," she kind of issued a challenge actually, and she said if I would put up an Orlando page on this website, that she would rank it very, very quickly. I think she can challenge herself to something crazy like 90 days, which is pretty much unheard of. But actually, I think it happened much faster than that.
Yeah,
Um,
it actually started ranking. I think it was 19 days. We had our first keyword on page 1, and by 40 days, we were all over. We were number 1 on page
yeah,
1 for that
yeah,
page.
it was all over.
There were
And
no
yeah,
links at all. It was only content. I
yes,
mean,
and
links
this
were
was
on
for
the
the
home page, but on
exactly. So
that
this is
page, we linked nothing, no socials, nothing, just content
just content.
to
And
make.
and Megan's
And Mike
repeated this.
called it speed ranking.
Speed ranking, and Megan's repeated this again and again and
Yeah.
again. And so that was ranking number 1 for Orlando SEO, which is a very lucrative keyword if you know what to do with it. You set it up right, and of course Megan sets things up wonderfully. So anyway, she became quite a prodigy, with that, and very influential in our community. But her first love has always been David Mill's coaching and content, and understanding mastery of law of implication. Just something that really, really called to her. And so, great success in OMG, but it was something that really called her, and felt like it was something that she could, wanted to master herself and wanted to spread as she mastered it.
Well,
And
Mike,
so
let me just interject here.
please,
Um, I was so amazed by LOI when I first started hearing alchemy that I just didn't want to do anything else. I wasn't even interested in building a business. But after a month or two, I realized, if I'm going to really get into LOI, I need to prove that it can work for me too in a practical way. And so I built my business, this copywriting SEO business, using
which has been a very,
principles of
very nicely
LOI.
successful
And
business, by
every
the way.
time I hit
Congratulations, by the way, on the success of your
I would use
copywriting.
LOI, and
Yeah,
yes, it became a big. The company became a big success, and basically, because I was applying the LOI, and it was my proof of concept that
sure.
LOI could work for somebody like me. I didn't think I could be an SEO expert, but it worked, and it helped me find my niche, and it actually after a while was supporting 3 of us. Um, the company went downhill very quickly when ChatGPT came out.
Sure,
But
sure.
but
Well,
then I was ready
and
to
actually,
retire. I
I
was
think
ready to retire completely because I'd already kind of proved.
well, and in fairness,
Yeah,
I think that really what that coincided with was you just wanted to retire at that time, and
I did. It coincided.
you've really said again and again.
I could have pivoted at that point like other
Yeah,
SEO people
it
did
really, yeah, because
and used ChatGPT and showed how to.
and there's AI filters now and stuff like that.
I was in my 70s and I thought, I'm
people
done. I
publishing
don't need
straight
the
AI
money.
and stuff like that are hitting bad filters and stuff. So it's right back. It's right back to the drawing board again, anyways.
Yeah.
For everybody out there who just thought that they could run just straight AI.
But
Um,
the concepts that in my class still all hold true. No matter what you do, no matter where you get your content, the class and what I learned about SEO with content still holds true. And if you use those concepts and go in and edit what the Chat GPT gives you, you'll have the same results.
you'll have the same results exactly.
Ranking just with content.
So anyways, that gives people a little bit more of a full introduction. Now Magic Secrets, going back to 2003 when David and I first published this book, and Lawrence and I are right now going through
Right.
updating it, and we'll share that with people. But going back to that date, I realized that that we could bring the advanced strategies that we use to become number 1 and number 2 in the world in Magic the Gathering, right? We were the Tom Brady of Magic the Gathering, and that we could document that for people. And our system wasn't about that you started with genius level people that were already at Ivy League schools. Our system was about that you could take anybody, and Jason, can you give a sense, like, because our top people were like Kyle Rose. Kyle Rose was like not at like Harvard or CMU, or he was not the definition of what the elite thought of. And so many people on our team, Dominic, who was on a crab boat, or on a salmon boat, or rather, like, getting fish and stuff like that, and certainly getting his fingernails dirty. We were a bunch of, essentially misfits compared to like again, those Ivy League types that really dominated otherwise dominated the top of things in Magic the Gathering. Smitty.
Say again?
Oh, just can you comment about like just the types of people that would learn David's skills, his Magic Secret skills, people like Kyle Rose, people like Dominic Crapuchet, and get our decks and stuff like that. We're not cut from the cloth of the elites, Yale, Harvard, the Justin Garys of the world, which are again very successful.
I got
great.
you. No, it was interesting because like when we were training the kids, that became obvious that we had some brilliant kids, but also the Donnie Gallutzes of the world, the Derek Ranks, the Mark Justices, they didn't really they had a high level of intelligence, but they didn't really come from, like where David Williams came from. They didn't go to Dartmouth. But David Williams also went to SMU. And so, yeah, the Chris Bishops and the Stuart Holmes, those kind of guys.
I mean, Kyle Rose,
sort
like, because Kyle, to me, like, outwardly, there's no way you put him in the same category with John Finkel, but I mean, he arguably had an insane career.
Kyle was a sick beast, man. Like, I mean, he probably could have been a Finkel.
He's making too much money in poker, right?
He didn't have some, like, some drawbacks from his habits and his shyness and his unwillingness to be in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Kyle was an absolute banger. And then you had the Brock Parkers and so I was thinking about Schneider's the other day.
So the people that came through David's system, basically a bunch of like misfits, like from a TV movie or
John
something
Slaughter,
like
that. Another super intelligent guy.
Right. Like they were intelligent to listen to David, but they weren't like at Dartmouth, at these Ivy Leagues, which is pretty much what was the top eights of the Pro Tournament.
Yeah, the CMU guys and all that shit, like the David Prices and Darwin Castles, they can all go kiss my boo boo.
Yeah, they were all they were all the elites, and for all their scientific testing and for all their giant scientific communities, they couldn't compete with these concepts, this conceptual approach that we took to things, right? And it defined our testing. And David Mills said at the beginning of Magic Secrets, there's only so many hours in a day. You only have so much time. And so this pure science approach that other people try to take to things is not going to work. You have to have philosophical guideposts in place that are going to cut down on your guesswork, right? And so that's what we were talking about today with that Quandrix charm, where it can be a spell counter, which of course totally changes the game, especially for a lot of these aggro decks, right? But you water down an aggro deck when you play too many spell counters because you're being reactive, right? But all of a sudden, your reactive card can be the most lethal card in your deck. Can, like in the example of Double Strike, if the creature getting double struck instead of a base 1/1 is a base 5/5, right? That's a net of 8 extra damage, right? 2 mana, 8 damage. Sounds like a good deal to me, right? In the case of Tifa, which no doubt Smitty's going to get into, because we have Quandrix Tifa for you, right? It gets totally out of control with Tifa.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see it in both decks.
Adam's on.
The enchant deck you built and the tap out I dare you that I built.
Right. Yeah, and I figure you'd kind of get to those things. So what we'll do, we had Megan on as a great testimony, and we have her on the show. I'm gonna kind of roll through the rest of the show, and then at the end I'll kind of be coming back on talking about more about magic, but also this kind of law of implication concept. Because again, with David, he would say, stop everything and understand this card. Stop everything, and you are not making progress like you think you are, right? When you put baby in a corner, right? You're not going to have the musical sing and dance production. We can't even do it without, who you think of as baby, right? Baby is this superstar. That's from the Dirty Dancing movie. For anybody who's seen this, anybody who hasn't seen it, just probably a great movie if you haven't seen it. So yeah, this powerful concept. I'm going to turn things over to the guys for about 25 minutes. They have the blogs and stuff like that. Megan, you'll get to see the blogs. I think you're going to be really excited about it. And Bryn, Smitty, and Lawrence will present things. Hey, Adam, I see that you're on. Tip of the cap to you. Another great week. How you doing,
Thank
man?
you. Doing good.
Good. It was great. It was great seeing. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, just pumped for all the exciting things and Cincinnati to come, and love the evolution of the decks and everything else.
Yeah, we want to get you ready. Adam, you were right there at Cool Stuff with me. We were signing some Root Water Thieves, and an employee behind the counter. We were talking to the various ones, and it was predicted to me that the forum was going to be something that really got people excited. And I was showing off our tokens and stuff like that. I said to that one employee, "We're going to have a forum coming up," and they were jumping up and down with excitement. What was that like?
It was so great to see her reaction, and coming from someone that actually is in the industry and into cards and working for a card shop, to see her excitement just lets me know that this is something that everyone's going to be interested in and want to get involved with.
I was telling guys, the guys, I was at Subway last night, and the two guys, it was a slow night. I was the only one there. The two guys, they had gamer written all over them, and I was like, "Hey, are you guys gamers?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're gamers." And next thing you know, I only had one of these, and they were like, kind of like not fighting over it, but they were like, "Oh yeah." And I told them about the forum, like, "Yeah, the forum, yeah," because they know they can be involved in it. So, anyways, just a quick note. Okay, so we're going to roll into things where this is essentially Smitty and Bryn's segment with the blog, and with showing off their test results. We're going to roll with that for about 25 minutes, and then I'll pop on to wrap up the show with everybody.
See, Mike, could you make me a presenter by any chance if you're still here? There we go.
I don't actually leave. I only leave in tech, but I don't leave in spirit. The show's too good.
Sweet. There we go. Got 2 new blogs this week. We have and so for Megan, to orient Megan, let's see. We started this blog. When was this? The beginning of March, the blog got created, and the first blog post was here on March 18. So that's about 6 weeks, give or take. And then we started filling in these blocks. So you see here, this is a deck like 6 weeks ago. Merfolk Shuffle, Mikey Shuffle, got some great results with that. Here, I beat the pants off a YouTuber with this. It's on this blog post. Maybe I'll zoom it in a bit more like this. I think it's nicer, right? I think this is better. Yeah, here I beat the pants off a YouTuber. Basically, he did 0 damage and I did 20 damage. Yeah, what was that, Smitty?
Tricky Magic player.
Yeah. He said he called me a tricky Magic player. Yeah.
A brewer.
Yeah, and it must be a brewer, right? I was like, yeah, in a way. Yes, you have here some great results, some 60% win rates and even more. I think this was 100% win rate on the play. It's great win rates. Yeah, here you have Michael Finney, who's an accountant, quote unquote, in real life. And he had this is a great post, a weekly meta snapshot where he goes through like different formats. Like let's say you have all the cards in Magic, and then they're kind of like chopped up into time frames, like different time frames, and then each time frame is like a format, and then Michael Finney went through these different formats and looked at like the top 5 decks played in each, and then what to kind of pay attention to not get taken out. Then here, this was the beginning of this month. I got to number 33 on Arena, so
Wow.
that was nice. Yeah.
Right?
I forgot about that. I was like, oh, it's nice that this blog post. Yeah. Dan and Smitty and Mike are designing decks like crazies, like one after the other, and we try to capture that. So one of them is the Dan Prowess. It's this one. Another one is Atlantis Shuffle, which is the one that I got to number 33 to this month, beginning of this month. We have Tokyo Gary is here on the right. He got number 1 in attorney. I think that he was still in the US at the time, just before he went to the Philippines, because Gary travels all over. I think he's away to Asia. I think he is going to the Philippines. Then he's going to, I believe, Japan, Indonesia, Philippines, and then Australia. So he's over there for like 4 months ish, 5 months, something like this. Got number 1 in one of these formats. Here's another deck that Dan designed, and then a couple days after that, this is Jeremy, who you know from OMG. Yeah, Jeremy discovered something with the deck and created the blog post. Here's Michael Freeman, who Mike met at one of the events. I believe it was Orlando. Maybe it was the second one, or maybe it was via Gary. I'm not 100% sure. Need to look that up. But he's also a DJ, and he headlined here. I think it was like I can show this blog post. I think it was like hundreds of people and even thousands. Here's Michael Freeman. So success is not just in SEO. It's not just in Magic. It's all over the place. Here you see this video.
Probably fun.
Yeah, right. Still cool to see.
Probably didn't suck.
What's that?
Probably didn't suck.
Yeah, this is hundreds of people, maybe 1,000. So he headlined there. Yeah, just to give you a sense. And then we have Adam. Adam is on. Adam got top 8 in a 128-man tourney last weekend.
Wow.
The weekend before. And then he also designed the deck, so he got that blog post up 2 days ago. So I think we'll go into that one. And then, there's a question on my mind for Adams. Like, if we look at this deck, could we have Quandrix Charm? There's a question. I don't know. Possibly, right? And then we can go into tap out of Daria, and then we have some gameplay if we have time. How does that sound? Sound good?
Fantastic.
Great. Okay. Just Adam, what kind of led up to you making this deck compared to another one? Was it the Hardened Academic? I think that's a new card, right, from Strixhaven?
That is the new card from Strixhaven. Just a quick recap on my last RCQ. I had played a Jeskai version of Coolbit Root. And so I was really intrigued with this card because it not only gave you outs against some of the more aggressive decks in the format, that life gain plus the discard synergy can just really end opponents very quickly. And loved also the interaction with Daydream as a new card to actually fuel out Momo with Quantum Riddler and get even more value. So that was the inspiration for this, and it's still something that I'm working in progress on. I have a couple of other builds with Hardened Academic that I'm really excited about. One is a kind of Mardu version of the deck with using Phoenix and using Bloodghast, and also the new Ral to just go crazy with Twilight Diviner. But just to keep on with this deck, it was two decks kind of merged into one, and it took kind of the best of both worlds of the decks and and put them together. So
Nice.
it's definitely really exciting. The real edge is if you get the Momo Quantum Riddler going early, it's good. Or if you get the fear of missing out hardened academic stuff early, the Quantum Riddler refills your hand, fuels everything moving forward. So a lot of fun, and excited to hear any feedback or anything.
Yeah.
And props to both you and for not only helping me get the blog post up, but also with ideas as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have a mutual affinity for Naga Fleshcrafter and the academic for sure. And kind of trying to make Naga work where we can.
Oh, right. So you're looking for different ways to make this specific spell or this specific premise work, just like Mike is doing with Quandrix Charm, and then looking at different decks.
Yeah.
You're trying to do something similar with the Naga.
One
Is that
thing
correct?
One thing you'll see with Dan is he's constantly mashing up. Like he's put lessons packages in like 8 different decks. So the concept that Adam was talking about like, oh, it's the best of 2 decks, is especially with the mana we have available right now, completely possible. You can mix up all sorts of fun stuff. I don't want to take away from Adam talking about this deck, so I'll just shut up now. But
Oh no, I think it's a great addition. Adam, I'm wondering, like, if we're playing this, like, is there ever a time where we're like, okay, if we had 5 more life or 8 more life, we would have won, or doesn't that really exist?
The life, it's very rare that you get one shot even with this deck, because it's very, very feasible to get above 28 life
Wow. Okay.
pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's more getting in a position where either you overextend to the board and get board wiped, or you like just draw the that is getting daydream that you need for Quantum Riddler when you have the hardened academic start.
Okay, so you you explained this. You kind of have 2 parts to the deck, and then sometimes you
Correct.
get a part of one part with a part of another part, and those 2 don't mesh without something like this, right?
Don't exactly match. Sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I wonder, do you see a space? Because like I wonder, like for Quandrix Charm, but then you would have to play, if you play Quandrix Charm and Hardened Academic, you would have to play 4 colors. I wonder if that's feasible, and if it's like how that would work.
I think that Quandrix Charm is a fantastic card. I don't know that it belongs in this, because there's nothing that, other than the life gain that you would gain off the Hardened Academic,
Yeah, as a
doesn't
5/5.
as a 5/5, it doesn't really mesh with what it's trying to do. But
Yeah.
certainly, I could see a world where you build this deck differently and put, maybe the scientist in and get extra copies of stuff and
I think you kind of dropped out for a second.
so. But anyway,
Okay.
lots of options and lots of different ways to do it. The biggest synergy in the deck is abusing the discard, the repeatable discard of Hardened Academic, which is very powerful and something
Right.
definitely to be watching for.
So if Hardened Academic is on the board, because it doesn't say tap discard a card, you could just basically discard whenever, right? Or is there like certain moments in the game that you could discard? Like, could you discard it instant speed basically, or? Right, you could discard it instant speed, right?
Yes, you can do instant speed discard with it.
Right. So then
Multiple
you have
phases
some
and
creatures.
multiple instances there are some things that that only trigger off of one discard, but then if you do it again, you can do it even more. You can do it on your opponent's turn. There's a lot of different things. Very, very interesting
Right.
card.
Do you
Right.
have cool in this deck?
I don't think so. Is there
It is
cool with
not
in
in
this
this build.
version? Yeah.
It is not in this build, but there's certainly ways that you can use Cool But Rude with this guy, and a lot of them are pretty cool.
Do we have
Okay,
anything to deal with
I
like
see.
rats?
Our best recovery from a Wrath is playing more like Sage of the Sky and coming back, just double casting a spell and putting two, flying life linkers into play.
Yeah.
But that's one of the better things that you can do. Other than that, you just have to be very cognizant about how you play.
Okay. So you would
Yeah,
play differently.
Not
So how
over
would you play?
extending is probably pretty big with this deck.
Okay, so you would kind of like if you know they're playing like a wrath type of deck, um, you're kind of looking to keep some creatures in your hand. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Makes sense.
But you can get lots of value with like if you know they're going to play a Wrath, you can actually warp out a Riddler, and then as a kind of a protection against it, as a hedge against it, and then maybe hold back a Go Ninja Go to even fuel you more after you attack. There's a lot of ways that you can position yourself just to get ready for it if you think it's coming, if they're in the
Right.
right color.
Yeah. Right. And especially in
Some
like
of the
best of three, you kind of know, like if they played it, game one or game two, you kind of know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Jeskai is definitely Jeskai control, 4-color control is something
Yeah.
that's definitely on the resurgence. So
Yeah. Especially with the lute, the flute. What's the
with
the
loot.
the blue? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You're telling me. I've been seeing a lot of it in from straight blue white to blue white red green control, and of course blue white red black.
Right.
It's all over the place.
Yeah. And then with Quandrix Charm, we kind of have like we could counter them once, or we could make our Mr. Green bigger, or maybe sometimes we have like a 3/3 Drunith that we oh no, but it becomes a 5/5, right? So it doesn't add 5, it becomes a 5/5. Okay. But still we do some extra damage sometimes.
No, Quandrix Shard probably needs to stay away from this Momo academic deck. But
Okay.
we can look at other ways that it's great.
Yeah, I wonder, like ever since Mike mentioned about gold cards, which for Megan are basically cards that have like two colors. So like this one you have, it's like a red and a white, or you could have blue and black or blue and green, basically what David and Mike call gold cards. And Mike said when a new set comes out, which is basically what is it like 150 cards, 160 cards for this set or something like this. It's like the first thing you look at is like gold cards and then one drops. So ever since Mike mentioned that, I was like, oh, okay, what if you have like a bunch of gold cards together and then you can maybe you can combine those, maybe not. Like I don't know. I'm not an expert deck designer like these guys here. But, yeah.
The interesting thing, if I was going to play a fourth color with this deck, it would probably be black.
So you play red, white, black, and or would black be the third one?
Red, white, blue, and then a splash of black.
What would you
Which
play
would
for
probably
black?
be
Would you
for
play like duress and stuff?
inevitable defeat.
Inevitable defeat.
It's just such a good card.
Oh, it's like a black plus, right?
It's red, white, black, and 1.
Oh, yeah, like this spell can't be countered.
Correct.
Yeah.
It just kind of gives you some answers versus. I'm seeing a bit of combo. I played 18 games before I came on. I played 1, 2,
Yeah.
3.
Why don't we get into that? Yeah.
Yeah, 3
This is
combo
great.
decks.
Yeah.
It can also just kill a loot, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. Just get rid of it. Yeah.
The loot
Okay.
might be the new most annoying card.
Okay. Luckily, it takes them a while to get there for sure. Although they also have these lands where you add they get like 2 mana of one color now.
But they're kind of set up to get there, as you know, they're probably going to have Get Lost, No More Lies, Lightning
Yeah.
Healer, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Get them to that sort of 4 mana
Yeah. Right.
threshold.
Yeah. Which is why I like the counter spells and stuff. And
And they have the new X spell too. I don't recall the name of it. It's Blue Red X.
blue, red, X. Okay.
Traumatic exchange or something.
Yeah.
Oh, is that with
Traumatic something.
the shouting dinosaur or something on it?
Yep, Shouting Dinosaur for sure.
Yeah. That was a funny one. Yeah. Yeah, this is a great blog post.
I saw a cool deck too that I also
Yeah.
lost to, which was Foggy Dinosaurs, but in the best version I've seen so far, they had a bunch of cheap artifacts to enable the Foggy to be a little more gross and discard cards. It was like, the 2 mana red, draw some cards, discard some cards. They're artifacts, so you can use them for the water bending, and then you're just like looking at Galta and Boltborn and whatever else.
Oh, nice. You put those in the graveyard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Foggy, instead of costing like 5-ish mana, kind of costs more like 3. And they have the silly eggs and all that stuff. But it's the best version of that Foggy deck I've seen so far.
Nice. I like that.
And it's fun, but I guess, like, I don't know what you're going to do against No More Lies. Like, they're just going to be like, okay,
Yeah.
nice Foggy bottom. Bye.
Okay.
And then you guys, I think, still get exiled. Could be wrong about that.
Okay.
Not sure. If it's countered, maybe they don't. No, they don't. They don't still get exiled because the cost is water bending, not exiling the cards. Yeah, it has to resolve all the cards. But okay. So, anyways, things I've seen recently in Magic. Jason.
Yeah. Yeah, you played a bunch. See, why don't we get into this blog post and then I'm not sure if we'll have time, or do you want to play some? What do you
Yeah,
think?
just go ahead and pull this deck up and play it. It'll be fun.
Okay.
Or it might not be fun. We'll see.
This one, right? I tap out Charm. Let's double check. This one.
Feel motivated to.
Yeah. Let's do a play game, not ranked. I think that's or do you want to play ranked? Like if you really want to play ranked,
It's
then
fine, yeah. I don't care.
You want to play ranked?
The only thing is it's like never mind. I'm not gonna bring that up. Hopefully nobody is trying to qualify. Hopefully we don't beat anybody who's trying to qualify for the Pro Tour via Arena, via us talking all together about how to play this deck. That's all I'll say about that.
I think this is a keeper, but Smitty, you let me know.
Yeah, it looks great. We'll elf and then decide. Probably elf weaver. We don't have trample yet. But we can
might get one with breakout. Yeah. So it's gonna be forest and elf, right?
Yeah, forest elf, and then we can get blue. Depending on their disruption, probably from the multiversal passage. And we'll have red from the Weaver, which is pretty close to perfect. If they just sit there with their Johann in their hand, we're in good shape. I think Forest Weaver. Oh, hold on. Hold on a second. Yeah, Force Weaver's fine. See what we might need with the multiversal. It's probably going to be blue, but if they
Spell second here.
they snare our Weaver, we probably want to make it red. So I'm glad we did it that way. Yeah.
Oh, they're playing a prowess type of, yeah. Oh no, what's this? However, you discard or sacrifice a land if you draw 2 cards.
They're tapped out now, so we want to break out. So multiversal for red. And then the namesake of the game hopefully comes up next turn. Oh, that's a hard choice. Because we don't really want to show him the harmonizer. Oh, do we have a land in our hand? We do, right?
No, we don't.
We don't. Badger Mole then. No,
Attack 4, right? Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Because it can definitely become relevant to do 16 instead of 28.
Yeah. No. Jerk.
That's unfortunate. So, it's okay though. We might just have to sit here for a turn or 3. Unfortunately, we don't have any blue.
Yeah.
You can just scoop.
Yeah.
Let's just go to another game.
You guys scooped too early. You got to play to your outs, man.
Yeah, we could certainly play out. I know we could. It's more for the show. Like it's just kind of rude to sit around, drawing turns and just waiting.
I got you. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just go to another game. That's fine. Like you said, like you don't care about your rating this month. But anyway, so the idea is that you're getting that disruption from the Quander's Charm, and yet it's such a powerful. Like you can see with Tifa, you can kill somebody turn 3, like
Yeah.
without anything else. You could just go land Tifa, cast Quander's Charm on Tifa, play a Fable Passage, sack it, and your opponent's dead, 20 damage.
Yeah.
We have all the
So
mana
it's
this
great.
time, at least.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Turn 2,
And we have a Chronic
turn 2
Charm.
Siege.
Okay.
Yeah, turn 2 Siege is really exciting. That's a hot card. It's a great card.
Looks like a keeper.
Yeah, let's keep it. Super, this is fun. And again, like part of what we're getting out of this is testing, but because the main thing we're trying to do is learn about the properties and probably the breeding pool.
Breeding pool is better because sometimes you want that red later.
Yeah, and he's got a mountain anyways. Exactly. But yeah, the main thing we're trying to do is like feel the difference and understand the difference with the Quandrix Charm and what it's doing. So what is he going to do this turn? He's casting a Slick Shot and going to attack. You just cast the Weaver, obviously, because the Weaver can block. Play one of your no damage lands, and I wouldn't show him red yet. There's no reason to.
Agreed. Weaver go. And you can
block. You definitely block.
Can almost win next turn.
Oh, you can win next turn? What do you mean he can win next turn? Oh, he can win next turn. He can win this turn for sure. Like if we don't block, he can definitely win this turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in dire straits here for sure. We need to draw some creatures or something, but it's just tough. We're going second. It is what it is.
He might not have a shock though.
Yeah. You block and hope. Nah, he's got it. Damn. Oh, hate to see it.
Oh wow.
Hate to see it.
My old friend Dreadmoss. Good job.
Yeah, well, we love Dreadmoss. We can draw out of this.
Yes.
Okay, so wait a second here. Wait a second. What about the Siege, Smitty?
I think you play the Siege here.
Siege, right?
Yeah, because your top decks get so much better.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's play Siege. Play
We're gonna
Mountain Siege,
play Mountain
obviously.
and Siege, yeah.
Yeah.
Now you've got
Hopefully,
7-inch cards that might not
yeah,
win on the
because the
spot.
main thing is he used up 2 of his cards, so it's a lot harder for him to kill. So we want to do
Teamer
Temur.
probably, right?
which one?
Temur.
Temur. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, Temur.
+1/+0 haste trample. Yeah, that one.
He could kill us this turn. We'll see.
Yeah,
It's unlikely.
we'll see.
Because he
But
played his.
he does have ire, so he could have bulk up too. So
Mm,
He does have IR. Great. Oh, and he has a bolt. Okay, he's got it.
Yeah.
Great. Okay,
2
stupid.
lightning bolts to the face? No? Okay.
not quite.
Oh no, just 6 damage. Not the end of the
Okay.
world. We have to play a shock land and play the.
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't. He has haste. Haha.
Yeah.
So you have to use the red. You have to use the red. You have to keep the
So
blue
tap
on
the
top.
red.
Tap the red. Yeah. You have to tap the red. So just tap it. Don't let it make a mistake. And then just tap the green land and cast the guy. Be done. Slim chances. Yeah, you're just done.
you don't want to cast.
What do you want me to do now?
No, you wait. He blocks and then he boosts the size of the creature.
Okay, so then I play the blue land tapped,
No,
right?
yeah, just play a blue land tap. Yeah, play a land tap. Don't pay any light. No attack. So hopefully he'll use something like a giant growth, as I take care of something.
Okay, so I'm thinking we'll block 1, maybe make him a 5/5 if it's necessary.
Just block and see what happens.
Yeah.
Because he might cast something you want to counter to. It's unlikely, but
Right.
he only has 2 cards, so
Yeah.
he's gonna hit us with the burst lightning. Okay.
It's not kicked, okay. Oh, you can't kick it. So that's 2 to the face. So that leaves us with 4, and this one gets a prowess, so this is 3. So then we're left with 1 life.
That's enough to win, maybe.
Okay.
Probably not. Unless he only has 1 card, so it's got to be a good one.
Yeah. But I wonder, we probably need to pump this one up because otherwise we have no creature and we're doomed for sure.
Sure.
You have another lightning bolt? No? Okay. Okay.
Okay, so
You're
we
gonna
have
do.
Cub, so that's good. Let's
Yeah,
go.
we could do Cub Breakout,
Yeah, Cub Breakout is what we have to do.
but then we need 1 red open, so let's do just this for blue just in case.
See what we draw here. Oh, I think we're dead.
Red. I'll have. It's kind of like clunky, but I have to do it because we can't tap this one for red. So I'll tap this, and then we get green. Okay.
All right, so we have a hasty Tifa, which is not going to be enough because
Right.
we
But at
spent.
least.
Why don't you put your land down
Yeah,
first?
play.
Oh, smart. Fuck. I can't anymore now, right? No.
Still would have been enough though. Yeah.
Still not quite enough, but it's good.
Yeah, probably keep this land for next turn then, right? Yeah, there's no use in doing it now. Let's see if he has a lightning bolt to the face.
Nothing burger.
Grapple. Sleight of hand. That's scary.
Yep.
Wow, it turned into a close game though. That's nice.
Yeah.
And again, you see Quanta's Charm. What a weird card. And it weirdly
Yeah.
gave us a chance. Like that's what to learn about this game is. I wanted to see Quandrix's Charm tested because again, there's never been a card
Oh no.
like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had it. So they had it.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep, 3 games.
Just scoop it. That's good.
Sorry, guys. My deck sucks. I'm just kidding.
It's not so much the deck sucks. It's just like I really, to me, this was really valuable because how many extra turns did we live?
Yeah.
Because of that Quandrix's Charm,
Quandra's
right?
Charm. Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to see it, but did he blow a spell into it when you cast it? What happened with the Quandrix's Charm? Did he cast?
Yeah, so he had 2 slick shots, and then he did a spell. I think he did something to the other slick shot, the unblocked slick shot. He did something there. I'm not sure what he did. Maybe,
Untimely malfunction, maybe?
yeah, maybe
That-
untimely
that-
malfunction. Yeah.
That was an
One or two target creatures. So he just cast it to do what?
just to pump both.
Yeah, just a pop up. Yeah.
Oh, he just cast it. He did now he cast it to make our guy not block though, right?
What was? Did he attack first? I don't think he attacked. I think he attacked first. Then we blocked one.
Oh, and then when you blocked, he was surprised. Oh, and he sprung it on you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! And then again, it just simply survives. Like
Yeah.
your guy just simply survives.
Yep.
Because the thing is, if you counter it, think about this. If you counter it, he doesn't like so. But this is David Mills 101. Like, look at what happened in the game. Examine it. Not like, oh, it lost. This deck sucks. No, it's nothing to do with that. We're examining the card and getting into the deep science of it. What card could have done what that card did? So it both could have fully countered something, right? Which we know with the liar and stuff like that out there, and Jeskai being so prominent, like Adam said, and Smitty said, you want to have that stopping power, but then it's so crazy versatile. Like it makes it a 5/5. So for it, like it's almost certainly gonna survive at that point.
I think it might have even been like a 6/5, which was odd. It seemed like an anomaly, but maybe that's in my mind.
Was it?
I don't know.
What kind of creature was it? Oh, it was
The Weaver, the
yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. But my point is, if it Dreadmaw's Ire, oh, it did make it a 6/6. Why did it do that?
I don't know. Or maybe it was like in my mind, whereas like I saw something off, but
Well, it survived, right?
it survived for
survived.
sure.
Must
Yeah,
have
by
been.
far. By far it survived.
So how big was the creature? It was a 3/2. Yeah, and it became a 5/5. Okay, so whatever. So it survived. Awesome. So we kind of see that versatility in it, and then obviously it didn't potentially work out this game. But my point is, now we're able to look at a bunch of other decks that would have been pretty difficult to play otherwise. Now with Jeskai being so popular, like one of the things that we'll do is we'll just stop and say to ourselves, like, what's kind of good against Jeskai, like, which again, I think that Frenchie style, like I was showing you earlier, is one of the first things that I'll take a look at. And then of course, there's ways of building Atlanta Shuffle that are very hard for Jeskai to beat.
Nice.
Or harder. You can just say harder.
Yeah.
Harder for it to beat. So
I played the Bolt Boy deck earlier a little bit, and I lost to Cavero and Loot, and I only got another third game in before it was time to come on, and I won that one versus like some random deck.
Yeah, sure.
But it's a random deck in Mythic, so it's like
and we'll get deeper into Bolt Boy testing probably pretty soon. But I'm really satisfied with here. Let me I'm gonna pull the screen back to review Frenchie here. So let me go to sharing. Let's see. Make myself presenter. And let's go to share screen. So with Jeskai being really popular, because a lot of what we're thinking about, Cincinnati is, pretty soon, is what's going to be good for Adam in Cincinnati, and then if anybody plays in DC. So I have this faux show. This version doesn't have the applied styles. If I apply the styles, it's harder for people to know what they are. So I have this one faux show to show you. So this, I think, is going to be a little harder for Jeskai to deal with. I do wonder, like, Emeritus might stick our neck out a little bit more than I want. In Emeritus, it's more for beating up on like green and stuff like that, where the bolts really, really matter. When it's just for damage, there may be something like we could almost play Mouse in this deck instead of Emeritus. Trying to think, what pumps do we have? We just have the Charm and the Otter, though. So that's a little light. It's a little light. That doesn't feel that good. So maybe I'll keep the Emeritus in here. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
when
play
I played
one.
that deck, it felt a little bit. I mean, after playing a ton of Harmonizer Chifa, it just
Yeah,
felt like a turn slow. Um,
the turn
but
slow.
then it just
Interesting.
mashes against like green decks, like you said.
So it's great against green decks, and then what was it a turn slow against?
It's a turn slow against control and stuff like that.
Hmm. So you were getting bogged down against
And
control.
against Cavero and Loot, both
So
Loot was
what in
essentially
your eyes were any of the aggro decks performing well against control? Pretty much the one that you had.
let me look.
Maybe that's why I was doing so well with this one. I was doing really well with Bryn's Bomber. Wonder if that's why I was doing so well with this one, because it is pretty well set
Yeah,
up against
so
control.
that deck was 1-0 versus control, then 1-0 versus mono green landfall. I lost to Arabella.
What's
I beat
Arabella?
a 5-color leyline deck, and I lost to a blue white control deck in my
So
5
blue
games.
white control was a problem for you. So let me ask you guys this: how would enduring innocence be? Would it break their back or no?
I don't know.
We just don't have enough creatures, right?
I don't love that card, but I'm
Hmm.
biased, I'm sure.
So all right, what can we put in that makes it better against control? Because that's a lot of what I've been thinking about. Is there anything to make this stronger against control after they sideboard? I think before they sideboard, you've got a really good chance. Um, this deck can be hard to beat because of these cards,
Reed, I'd
the
have to look at
rescue.
yesterday's results because it was beating everything yesterday.
Yeah, I
Um,
know. I was beating people up pretty bad yesterday too. Let me show the deck off really fast.
How is control and their lands like? Did they have pretty easy access to all of the lands they need, or is it kind of like tight?
Oh, Smitty was going to put in fear of missing out. Sorry, what were you saying, Bryn?
Oh, how are the control decks with their lands? Are they pretty easily accessible for them, or are they kind of tight on colors?
Why?
Maybe take out one of their lands, like a color,
Oh,
something
land
like this.
destruction. Oh,
Yeah,
with what? What's a land destruction card?
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
All the land destruction is in red though.
All right.
What's
Do
that,
I run
Ryan?
this guy straight out or wait a turn? What do you guys think? Let's see what he is.
Probably run it out and then turn
Oh,
to
blue
Star
black.
Chaser.
Nah, no, I ain't running him out. Not against blue black. I'm not. Oh, we're flooded. Boy, I'll tell you what. This is where, boy, against a lot of decks, I really wouldn't mind even having four of the
Um,
manlands, whatever they're called, anchorages.
oh,
I hate getting flooded with this deck. Anchorage can't put you over the edge, but playing four come and play tap lands in an aggro deck is a little sketchy.
Yeah,
Just no.
those machines.
Probably Reanimator.
Yeah, will be interesting.
Yep,
Oh, yep.
definitely Reanimator.
What should I do? We're in trouble, right? I just got to run at him. I hope. Probably just gonna die.
I mean, Scavenger. I mean, sometimes they just don't draw the cards too. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's see.
we need
Look at their
we need to
graveyards.
come
They put in Terror, but what else? Do they get anything else?
the Overlord.
Not super great. Okay. Um.
Formidable speaker.
Oh, now they're
Yeah.
getting what they need.
The
Well,
problem with this deck,
if
the
they
biggest
discard a
problem with this deck
bringer,
right now is
discarding Kavera is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
That means they already have another Cavero.
Yeah, they have
Must
another
be.
Cavero, and then they're gonna Bringer. Yeah, they're gonna go get Bringer.
we're just kind of screwed here.
Have another way to
To discard, yeah.
We're never gonna kill him. I should just scoop.
Yeah, also we don't have a sheltered.
I would never scoop here, but I'm with you.
Don't scoop. Swing. Swing and kill his graveyard.
Play an armor.
Yeah.
I should scoop.
It's not that relevant, but this might be a spot where
Should have just put all the counters on his on.
defend the rider and stuff like that is or restoration magic might occasionally be relevant. But yeah, I mean they've got to have a land and a Cavero and a way to pitch the bringer to win next turn. So
Yeah, he can't
Yeah,
win
they must.
next turn. It's just that we're just nowhere near being able to kill him, and we have no evasion, so it's gonna be tough to finish him.
I don't think so. I think you got it.
If we draw a Quandrix turn, we can kill him probably. I don't think
If he
he's got
doesn't
it.
have the land here, he's in trouble.
The land. I think he's got the land. Yeah, and of course he's got the.
It's gonna discard the bringer, probably right.
Please try to kill my guy. Please have that be your plan. Yes. You always love that.
sometimes they just don't have the all the pieces. I
Yeah.
love Cavero. You know, I've played it like my job forever. So
Yeah, for sure. Can I kill him? 11, 12, 13, 14. We need to draw
Yeah,
something.
any enchantment will do.
Yes. Come on, dang it. All right, well, it was close.
Yeah.
no graveyard, right? You don't have a graveyard.
A graveyard? No, no. Got him to 3. Good game. Close.
Close.
We had like 16 outs or something like that.
How do you
The
just
Quandrix charm doesn't defend that.
Did Dredgers put a bringer in or something?
Yeah, he had to bring.
Oh, okay. I missed that part.
No, sorry.
No cigar.
You can have Tidebinders in your board. Works pretty good for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Real problem for that type of deck.
Yep.
And then it's good against a lot of other decks. It's stuff that wipes out their graveyard that doesn't keep you kind of aggressive kind of sucks. No creatures at all.
Flanker.
Blanker. All right. Obviously, rolling it. I did keep 2. Sucks. What do I pitch? The Garden or the Fountain Smithy?
I'm putting back the Sanctum here.
Chip. Okay. So if he doesn't have removal, he's dead fast. If he does,
Yeah, mono green landfall. Come on.
mono green. Blue white, we're in trouble. Just hope he doesn't have anything. Run it out. Ugh. Bastard.
Our friend has gotten lost.
Looking bad here. Oh, man. Gotta get rid of it.
It's kind of a do nothing spell.
Yeah, especially after I get rid of it. Wait, how much damage is it? This is 2. This is potentially 1, but it sets my deck.
Grumper. Oh no, you have green now. Never mind.
So keep it, right?
Yeah, you can keep it. You have starting sound, so.
All right.
Mike, can you go into the theory on this deck?
Can I do what?
Can you talk about the theory about this deck and how it works?
Theory. Okay. Well, we've had this before. In the Magic Secrets book, we should do this, right? Well, we definitely do this. Give me 1 second. Let me not lose this game. Of course, it's a great question. It's a terrific question. Do I definitely do this, right? Or do I shelter again, right? Just shelter again. Let's just shelter again. That way I know get the damage. It's two instead of 1. Wait. Let me make sure this thing doesn't screw my life. Shuffle. I think this is better.
Yeah, they have split up or they don't, I think.
Right. It's the only card. Or there's a black and X card that can kill it.
Yeah, there's a couple they could have. They could have black.
Or Edict. Any Edict kills it. You know, there's a bunch of cards that kill it. But he didn't have it.
Hey.
Okay, so great. Adam wants the theory behind this deck. So again, the greater theory behind the deck is what decks abuse Quandrix Charm so we can better understand what is really going on with Quandrix Charm, right? If we're going to ask the question in life, what's really going on with ourselves and you know what's really going on with our business and what's really going on with our finances or what's really going on with our relationships, right? A great thing that we can do is we can practice this in games, and in a game we can have a deck like Bryn's Bomber. This is similar to the Pioneer deck that was in the Magic Secrets kind of novel version that we had, and so it was a kind of a featured deck. In that version, we had Ivy and we had that terrific, what was it called, the Fox of Nine Tails or whatever it was called. But anyways, so I was thinking with Quandrix Charm, you know, what are the decks that particularly abuse this you know, multifaceted thing that it has going on, where you know it's fully a disruption card for stopping that Day of Judgment, stopping, you know, that liar or whatever, to, you know, to keep them from winning the game or whatever, but also doesn't just sit in your hand, right, when you need to make a kill move. So for example, with this deck, a lot of times you win on turn 4 because you cast Helpful Weaver on turn 2, and then something happens on turn 3 with Double Strike, right, where you're able to really pump the creature up that you give Double Strike to with the Most Helpful Weaver's third step. What's this called in real life, guys? Do any of you guys know? Adam, do you know? The real Spider-Man version of it? Probably nobody knows.
I don't, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know what it is either. But anyways, you know, it's a card, you know, arena, and you can find it in real life in the Spider-Man
Origin
stuff.
of Spider-Man.
What's it called?
Origin of Spider-Man.
Origin of Spider-Man. Thanks, Lawrence. So Origin of Spider-Man, the third step, and then, you know, if you put that on your Otter or something like that, right? One of the best cards to put it on. Or your Silent Hall Creep is the most common one because he's fully evasive. He can't be blocked. Then now it's, you know, 10 points of damage, right? And then if you pump him further, if you can get an ethereal armor on him, ideally, or something else on him, you know, then he can be even bigger. So that's the idea behind it. It's a it's crossing an enchantment deck with a prowess deck, right? So you have a huge number of enchantments in the deck. In the main deck, there's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28 enchantments. That's a huge number of enchantments. That's a really high number. That's a really good number of enchantments. And then in terms of what pumps your prowess creatures, there's 4, right, from your Grove's Bounty. So 4, 8, because your Storm Chaser's Talent pumps it. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. So you have 32 cards that pump. Like when we were asking for something that did, just one more, right? There were a lot of cards in our deck that we could have drawn out that game. We could have drawn this would have won, this would have won, this would have won, this would have won, and this would have won,
Interestingly, when I play this deck, also, I do use
and
the
this would have
Grove
won.
Bounty. I use the Grove Bounty more than I probably ever have with Otter.
I use it a ton as
Yeah.
well.
I also slipped in a couple of Fear of Isolation, which gives you
I
more.
was really interested in this. This is beautiful, Smitty. So let's look. I was just thinking about this, but Smitty actually put it into
Then
testing.
pull up my account and look at what did I call this thing? Lily. And tell me what the build is. Please and thank you, if you please.
All right, so
Not FOMO.
fear of missing out is something
Not
else
FOMO.
that
Fear of Isolation.
fear of isolation. Oh, that's so interesting. We've used this deck a lot in the past. Interesting.
Yeah, so
So
I think
what it
it's,
gives me
a
more
couple of
flyers.
royal treatments for it. But I'm not.
Okay, I can understand that. Okay,
It,
neat.
it
So there's
Storm
obviously different. Go ahead, Smitty.
it picks up Storm Chaser. It picks up Weaver. I've used it to pick up
I
Armor.
really like picking up Weaver. That's a great point, Smitty.
Yeah, you pick up Weaver, and sometimes it's just in a game earlier
Now
today,
wait a second, Smitty. Oh, I know why.
I
Of course,
sheltered
I was gonna ask why you don't play
Nurturing
what's the,
Pixie.
yeah, but
Yeah,
it's because she's not an enchantment.
yeah. And earlier today, I picked up Sheltered by Ghosts, which was on a Chocobo to take down his. Picked it up and replayed it, so to give him the 0-1 back and take down his like 8, 9, 10, 12, whatever it was, Chocobo.
Yeah, nice,
So that's a
nice.
rare
That's good.
instance. Same with the
Oh,
armor.
really, really good science, Smitty. And again, that really goes to
You can
show
pick up Shard Mage too, which is very helpful.
really nice, Smitty. Really nice. Really good science. Again, on and I wanted to splash. You can tell that I'm in the damn verdict mode when I wanted to splash fear of missing out in this deck. I literally thought that you meant that, Smitty.
For sure. And sometimes, every once in a while, you'll bounce a land and replay it to
Yeah.
get another dude on the field. And
Or just to cover yourself, just to make sure you're covered with a royal treatment or a Shard Mage's Rescue, or of course to pump
yep.
up with Hero Orin.
So I
Okay,
like it so far.
yeah, good, Smitty. Awesome, awesome episode today. We were honored and it was a really appreciated joy to be joined by marvelous, mysterious Megan Lee. We really it was great to have you on, Megan, and we hope that you'll be a frequent guest on the show.
Yeah. Thanks. So this was very interesting. I don't play Magic, but I love to watch the strategizing
Not
part.
yet. You don't
Not
yet.
yet.
You never
But
know. You never
I
know.
wanted
We
to,
have.
I just, Mike, I
I'd
wanted
be
to
amazed by
mention,
how many of my friends that don't play are like, oh, I want to watch this. And then they come back and they're like, okay, I wasn't totally bored.
Yeah.
no, I think to me, the strategizing, the LOI, the figuring out how to win before you play, that's interesting to me. I wanted to mention, Mike, about a week ago, I saw something for gamers that the the government recruited they recruited like 8,000 applications specifically from gamers to become air traffic controllers, and they hired about 2,000 of them because there's a huge shortage. And so they
Wow.
totally
What a good
bypassed
idea.
colleges and just went straight for the gamers because they had all the skills.
What a good idea.
I
What
know.
a good idea.
And so that's how they're
That would be a
solving
good
the
old
problem.
man job for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sit on the
Interesting.
button and help people.
Yeah.
You've got to
Great.
have quick reflexes and be able to get solutions and figure things out very, very quickly. So they figured the skill set was the same, and they just completely
They just killed
filled
it.
all their applications with gamers now.
I think that's so. I just think there's something just very special about having Megan involved. Her even spotting that is just a beautiful mental optic that I don't think anybody's ever going to be able to forget. And so that's really cool. So Megan, and actually Megan, it's really not that hard. I'm sure if you sit down and play a couple games with Bryn and with Lawrence, before you know it, you'll be a pro. So
Maybe somebody
you'll
give me a beginner's lesson. It's really
yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah, I think we can do that very easily. I think we do that very easily, and we're right now in the middle of rolling out the kind of revised edition of the original MTG Secrets book. So whenever there's a law of implication book to be sourced, then we want to have Megan close by. Okay, well, okay, congratulations everybody on a fantastic episode. Special thanks to Megan for coming on, and special thanks to Smitty and Bryn for all their preparation work with the blog and with this testing here. Thank you to Lawrence for all the work. I met with Lawrence for over an hour this week, setting things up, which is a lot of what led to me reaching out to Megan. Lawrence is working on getting that precious law of implication YouTube channel really populated. He's got access now to both our Vimeo channel and the YouTube channel and the mandate. So he's kind of becoming more. Also, Megan has a number of assets that are very precious, law of implication assets that she's developed that are very precious. So we have all this law of implication material that's out there, and Lawrence more and more is helping us archive them, thus being more like an archivist and really helping us with that. I actually knew the guy, Tucker Carlson, who's the
If anybody
archivist.
wants access to my, it's called Megan's Gold Mine. It's on Dropbox. So I have all my transcripts and everything there. It's a little archive I put together. So if you
I want to get that exactly
No.
on the law of like that archive that stuff from Megan's Gold Mine. I want that actually implemented on the it'll be on the law of implication website. On the certain pieces of it will be more relevant for the blogs and so forth. But we'll definitely get them onto the website, onto the forum, onto the blog in various ways. My emails will start appearing on the blog when I send them out. When I start resuming writing emails, which will be pretty soon. And so on. So everything is starting to really come together. It's a perfect storm right now. And also special thanks to Nikki, who's helping us put together the forum. It's going to be a crucial step. And to everyone that's involved, Adam, great having Adam. Adam, was that your first forum post, or was that your second? I feel like that might have been his second forum post. Anyways, he's a great forum post from Adam, and appreciating him jumping on the show as well. It was great
Thanks.
meeting with Adam. Cool stuff this week, and helping spread things. I was telling Megan about me and Adam going to the store, and we talked to people. They were jumping up and down. Yeah, I want to jump, be on the forum. And then I walked right into the subway and did the same thing, with our cool tokens that we have. We have them right and left, all kinds of cool stuff for the world. So, anyways, I want to appreciate Adam for coming along with me as well, and meeting with me and helping me spread the good word about the show.
Thanks
All
so
right,
much.
guys. You're welcome, Adam. Appreciate you. Okay, guys, great show. One of my very favorite ever. It was super extra cool having Megan on. So we added a few minutes at the end, and that made it extra marvelous and mysterious and terrific. And we will go from here. Looking forward to next week, guys. Great job. Amazing show.
Hey.
Everybody. Team Spirit. Great job, Smitty.
Take care, everyone.
Yeah.